Paul Green, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. You're breaking all sorts of world records all over the interweb with your product. Stamp Your Balls. First, talk to me about that name.
It came from a guy that used to work for Coca-Cola who did all their branding, and I had spoken to him about the concept that we had come up with, and he immediately came up with the name Stamp Your Balls. He lives in Sydney now. We distribute over there as well. It was fantastic. We didn't even need to go to anybody else or ask anybody else. It hit the spot straight away.
And have you had any unwanted attention with Stamp Your Balls?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, we have, obviously. I think certain people have been searching the internet for different things, and they've come up with the Stamp Your Balls, but they've passed us on by, so it's not a problem.
Okay, listen. Let's talk about the product itself. What is Stamp Your Balls?
Basically, the idea came up after I had played the wrong ball, playing with the slowest man in England, and I've obviously played his ball by mistake, and I needed to come up with a solution. And we came up with this little guy. It's an indelible stamper, and basically it will mark your ball quite easily in one punch, so you do not play the wrong ball. And we've got 80 odd designs, and that is the simple nutshell of what this does.
As I said, you've had huge success in the business. I see trophies all over the background. Was that the core business originally?
Yeah, we started the trophy business 23 years ago and developed obviously our own brand in that. So Stamp Your Balls has been going just over a year, 18 months or so. So I'm going to concentrate on the stampers, and young Joe is going to take over the trophy side of the business. He's been with me for 3 years, and he knows everything about it. His family have been in it for years. It was a perfect fit. I'm going to stay in the office here in St Albans, help them through, and continue. Just hopefully they'll grow that side of the business with me, and they'll help me with the stampers as well.
Obviously, Stamp Your Balls. It's not your first business. Is it sustainable as a standalone business?
Another good question. We're hoping so, because we're going to bring out version 2 of this, which will be in silver plate, so then people can actually engrave it. That's in production at the moment. There'll be less than the 80 that we have at the moment, and we'll see how that goes. And I would imagine then after that we'll probably think about other golf gift type products that are useful to the golfer, not the sort of broken putter thing that you get from China or anything like that. These have got to be items that work and are of real use to a golfer. That's it.
How intricate can you get? Like the traditional, before you guys arrived on the market, you had initials, the golfers themselves. Darren Clark, I know one of your brands is the Shamrock. Darren would always have the Shamrock.
Yeah.
How intricate can you develop this?
Well, basically, I don't know. Hopefully you can see that there is a shark on there and a yin yang. There are 2 of the ideas. On this sheet here, we've got most of the other ones as well. You're probably going to struggle to see that, but I'll put it up to you there. There's 80 of those, and we range from a lizard and a gecko. There you've got the horseshoe, which is quite easy to see. We've got a Red Bull. We've got a liver bird. We've got a spider. There are 80 different designs, Greg, and they really sharp well on the ball. There is no chance that if you've marked your ball properly with one of these, that you're going to play the wrong ball, or more importantly, that anybody else is going to play your ball, because that's more likely what happens.
Obviously, price is going to be important, but you do have worldwide distribution.
Yeah.
What countries, outside the UK and Ireland, are you particularly impressed with the response?
The best response so far has been from Germany. There's no real reason for it, but the guy has concentrated on it a lot. We met him at the PGA show in Orlando, which is the biggest golf show in the world. It's massive. And he just popped up. He got the idea straight away, took the idea back to Germany. He's created his own website, and he's selling, we probably send him over well over 1,000 a month. He's then taken over Austria, and we've got another guy in Holland, France, Australia, and we've got a distributor in America. He's slightly changed tack because America's such a vast country that he's going to go into sell into smaller distributors. They will do it state by state. That's it.
I think that's the only way that's going to work in America, isn't it? It's just so vast.
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to bump into the guy in Orlando who originated the Sabona band, the Copper band. And for some reason he came over to see us, and his advice to me was exactly that. He said, do not give one person the distribution rights in America, it's too big. Separate it into the states and let each state look after themselves, and that's the way we're going to go.
So you mentioned the new process. When will the new Stamp Your Balls be on the market and available?
The silver-plated one should be here. The first one should land in about 4 or 5 weeks. Then we need to test them, obviously, to see that everything is perfect and they're engravable, which is an important part of the whole process. Currently, what we do is if a golf club wants to brand the lid, or a charity event, or just a captain's day, or maybe even just a small golf society, we can actually brand the top of the lid here. So this is one we did for Woking Golf Club. This is one here for the BBC, and I can see we've got ones here for FedEx, Coca-Cola. This is one for St Andrews. So that's where we can brand the top of the product to make it special for people's days. The only thing is that if they're having a day, they should have different impressions on the ball. So that if there's 20 people going, they have 20 different impressions that go on the ball. The idea being obviously not to play the wrong ball.
Obviously with us amateurs, Paul, the branding is going to last longer than the ownership of the golf ball. But for the better golfer, how long is the stamp going to last?
I mean, I've had the rare round where I've used the same ball right the way through the round, and I've had no problems with it. The blue comes out particularly well, and particularly on a Titleist. This is a Pro V1. Because of the coating on a Pro V1, it's a little bit softer. The actual stamp itself, the mark on it, does tend to stay as long as you've got the ball. With a slightly harder ball, so something like an Ultra Top Flight, you might just have to stamp it once more during the round or whatever, but you can still make it out. It's not a problem. I've had people who've had it 2 or 3 rounds. Sometimes, again, they've had to stamp it again once or twice. Each stamper will give you about 150 impressions out of each one. So for $5.99 sterling, that's what you get for your money.
Okay, and Paul, looking forward to the future, you know, this is set up as a kind of a interviewing innovative individuals and everything. What's the best advice you could give startup companies in the golf, leisure, tourism business?
Fantastic. That is a deep question. You've got to have a Facebook presence. I found Twitter is really good because you're actually interacting with people who are going to be your customers. And the most important thing about anything is your customer service. You must not let anybody down. Golfers talk more than any other sportsman. You know, if you're playing a 4-ball or you're in the bar afterwards, everybody wants to know who's playing what driver. Any bad publicity you get or any bad feedback you get, it's not just to one person. It's going to 20, 30 or 40 people. It's in a golf society or a captain's day or something like that. Our biggest success with these has been, say for example, a captain's day. A captain has given these out to all the people there and it's worked. So you've got to get that part right. Your customer service comes first in front of everything else. Obviously your product, but you mustn't avoid anything to do with your social media at the moment. It's so important.
In the old days before social media, would you have taken on a product like Stamp Your Balls?
Would have been more difficult, but we would have gone through the route of posting letters out to every club, and we would have advertised, obviously, in Golf Monthly, Golf World, Today's Golf, magazines like that, and it did work. There's no question it worked, but it's a slower process, and you can't connect with people as quickly. So the internet, things like you're doing, and all these other things are so much quicker, and that's why your customer service has to be good. Because if it's bad, the bad reviews get out there quickly as well. Our eBay feedback is 99.9%, which I think is pretty good. If you get 2 or 3 bad ones, it's going to put you behind the 8 ball.
One thing that business owners don't well, they speak about it privately, but they don't talk about it publicly, is when people leave reviews for products, there's 2 types of people.
Yeah.
The people who are absolutely delighted with your product,
Yes.
and then there's the people who are just assholes.
Yes.
So how do you handle assholes?
I take it as a personal insult in the first way. I really do feel that, but I've got a feeling that that sort of person, if they haven't got a real proper gripe about the product, they're sad. There's a lot of sad people on the internet. We all know that, and I think you have to move on, forget them, and get on with your own life.
Okay, well, Paul, listen, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. We wish you the greatest success. We love your product.
Thanks, Craig.
So may your God go with you, whomever your God may be.
He will, and I'm wishing all the best from us to everybody that's looking at Golf Jug, and we wish everybody who connects with you the same success and the same sort of friendship that we've built up. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Paul.
Good luck. Cheers.